Welcome to this evening main event or only event, and so this will be this is part, as you know, of the American Mathematical Society meeting of the Western section that's taking place on campus this weekend, and it's also part of the Bay Area Science Festival. And it's co-sponsored by the American Math Society, the Bay Area Science Festival, and the Mathematical Science Research Institute in Berkeley. And I'm just going to introduce the introducer. I'm Michel Lapidus, the AMS Associate Secretary in charge of this meeting. And our introducer tonight is David Eisenbud, who is a former president of the American Mathematical Society and current director of the MSRI, the Mathematical Science Research Institute in Berkeley.
It's my great pleasure tonight to introduce Jim Simons, a dear and now old friend. He's going to talk about luck, and I want to talk about luck too, and I'll start with a sort of personal story. My father, Leonard Eisenbud, was a physicist and joined the physics department at Stony Brook in 1957, just 1 year after it started. Stony Brook is a great place now, but it had growing pains, and at one point the math department was in such terrible shape that the provost felt he needed to have a committee of outsiders to find a new chair, and that no one in the department would do, so they went searching for an outside chair. Various people applied, and my father was on the committee that was to make the choice. And they made some pretty questionable choices, among them this inexperienced young guy, Jim Simons, who'd never done any administration before and really was too young for the job. And they interviewed the candidates, and the provost, when he interviewed Jim, according to Jim, said, "You know, of all the people I've interviewed, you're the only one who actually seems to want the job." And indeed, nobody else took the job, and Jim did. Talk about luck for Stony Brook. I feel I've been touched by that luck too in getting to know Jim. PhD from Berkeley in 1958 with Bertram Costant, whom I saw in the audience a moment ago. Where's Bertram Costant? Somewhere around, unless he left again. 61. Oh, your Wikipedia entry is questionable. He was the winner of the AMS Veblen Prize in 1976. Is that the right date? He discovered that minimal manifolds can have singularities, starting in dimension 7. Not such an obvious construction. Now very famous for Chern-Simons theory, which is applied in math and physics in all kinds of unexpected ways. In 1982, a change of life, he founded Renaissance Technologies, and in some sense the amazing chapter, really even more amazing chapter, started then. He did nothing but use math and a lot of talented people's work to become one of the richest men on earth, and has now been sharing his wealth and his luck with the rest of us who are here. And now we'll all share the luck again in listening to Jim himself. Jim.
This is a high thing. Okay, I guess you can hear me. Thank you very much for such a nice introduction. So I'm going to kind of talk about my life and its various peregrinations. Some of it about math, and some of it about common sense, and some of it about good luck. And then I'll take some questions if there are any. So I always liked math. When I was a little kid, I didn't think of it as math, just numbers and having fun. But I discovered Zeno's. So this is proof of my thoughtfulness as a child. I discovered Zeno's paradox at about 4 years old, not knowing it was anybody's paradox or not knowing what the word paradox meant. But I learned from my father, to my horror, that a car could run out of gasoline. And I said, well, shouldn't run out.